What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots Wires. This is part 2 to Tekken 4 playthrough as far as these fairs going to happen. So within this particular fair about it, in the previous episode I was kind of talking about like a degree of like a drinking game here within some of these type pitches, but this is just more kind of in like the docking type period as far as these fairs going to happen, just to miss the pitch like an exhibition kind of one. I mean, it's within the pitch. I do manage to beat the arcade mode within these fashions about it, but this is kind of the aspect as far as saying that I did not save like I was saying before, kind of the pitch that I thought that this had an auto-save function, but it didn't, so it's just kind of the aspect. So yeah, I would just more or less say this should give like some degree of goosebumps. It's kind of with the pitch. Just realize if you're watching this on like a Thursday, Friday, some of those type fairs, just traditional type fair, getting crunk a little bit, having some free time pitches like that to kind of get cranked for the night. I suspect this playlist is probably going to be a lot fatter, so just down the road, if you're watching this like in 2026, 2027 or further, pitches like that, some of these type of ordeals, I just would say prepare yourself, because there's a good assortment. There's definitely a good assortment of these videos within this playlist, within these fairs. And once again, me not knowing as to how full-bound fat this playlist is going to be within the full-boundness, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to beat every last portion of this game, but it's definitely in the pitch. I mean, already just within this episode, at least arcade mode has been beaten with at least one character. So within the fair, even though I didn't save, I did manage to unlock gen pitches like that. So what's going to happen with it, starting with episode 3, it's probably going to be played at night time, so you don't have like this sun glare pitches like that, but just be able to say within the aspect, I'll probably try to craft some degree of a drinking game, which should be excellent. Like I said, prepare yourself as far as what's going to happen, just the dun 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 as far as giving you some sort of chills just within those aspects, but it's kind of the tone as far as saying it's going to look after. It's going to be a hell of a Friday, hell of a Thursday, hell of a Saturday, some of those type pitches, but it's kind of within the aspect. I don't know, I did not really look up as to how many playthroughs are kind of around with this particular game. The fair towards this is kind of the aspect as far as just fucking with this game, but kind of within the pitch of like knowing a few Dat Piff mixtapes, some of these type fairs. Like, you're not a stranger to like knowing about like mixtapes by Eminem, some of these type pitches. If you know more than a few members in D12 or just fairs like that, you know, some Tech 9 songs, some pitches like that, you know, some of these type folks, like standard mixtape type fair, you know, Waka Flocka, some of these type folks, other pitches like that, plenty of these type folks, good aspects like that, Lil Jon, Lil Wayne, some of these type folks, just pitches like that, Hops and all these type folks. So it's just kind of the pitch, just throwing some of that in there, some of these type fairs, just kind of the pitch of just getting this new game cranked, some of these type of aspects. Now that particular last fighter, that boxing dude, I don't know if his name was Steve, I don't even remember what his particular name was. This King dude was kind of annoying as well. He's kind of like if you ever played Street Fighter, like the Blanca character that kind of electrocutes you, pitch like that. He kind of has like unorthodox type fair where he's just kind of sporadic and stuff. Is just kind of the pitch. I do remember that character. I want to say King is actually in Tekken 3 or something like that. It's just kind of the pitch as far as saying it's just kind of the aspects, some of these type ones. But yeah, this is just one of those type of games that's kind of just loosen up to as far as this first game. It's just definitely the pitch, but yeah, I mean, just saying within the aspect of just not knowing its full bound as to how many played through. I mean, I know there's at least a couple of these. They've probably been around, you know, 15, 18 years, something like that within these aspects. It's just kind of the fair of like, just kind of having like a casual type one. So it's just kind of pitch like, I don't know if I'll attempt to beat this. I don't know if I'm going to try to unlock all 23, 24 of these type characters, pitches like that, but it's just kind of the fair of, it is going to be kind of a reckless playthrough. It's going to be like most of this. Like the thing about Acid Roots Wire is just as far as saying some of these type of ones within the pitch about it. And yeah, we're at the final fight here, pitches like that, but this, you know, this character is a little bit of a pain, royal pain, pitches like that, but it's not too terrible. But it's just kind of pitch and just question if it is going to be on medium, because I am going to try to do this mode, this particular arcade type stuff on medium, pitches like that. This guy looks like a real douchebag in certain senses, not to downplay sumo wrestling, but it's just kind of pitch. He just looks like a grade A douchebag, something like that. But it's just kind of aspect as far as saying, I just look after here on top of that, just I forget what I was talking about, something within those pitches as far as saying just being able to suppose is kind of the aspect. I mean, to look after on top of that, some of these mixtape type fairs, I still would recommend hitting up like the music channel, some of these type pitches, this extra type aspects, some of those type tones. Yeah, I guess I did forget what I was talking about earlier, but just the pitch of like, there is going to be more of these type ones. I do still have some more Guitar Hero on the way, some of these type pitches, getting these mixtapes cranked out, some of these type pitches. there is eventually going to be some further Hobson type fare. I've been really trying to hope that there's more of these type 1s. It really is unfortunate that there's just not that many Swiss type products or some of those type folks within the pitch. It just, I don't know, just kind of the aspect of getting more funk volume type stuff, some of those type pitches. It's kind of the thing about Hobson type fare. I do thoroughly enjoy like LAUSD results, some of those type 1s pitches like that. But it's just kind of fair. You listen to some of these Hobson songs and it just feels like a movement that's been kind of lost. Paying attention to some of these other type 1s pitches like that. Really, that's just been like the standard complaint with things just as a whole in general. November 2025, the month that I'm playing this, has just been relatively awkward within some of these type pitches. I've noticed that even some of these hip-hop type websites don't really have a lot to talk about within the fair. This kind of aspect, there's no real, like, it's November, which is the holiday season. I can't really think of like the holiday album. I think still one of the bigger type things within the pitch. I know it's kind of polarizing, but it feels like in certain senses folks are still kind of talking more about Cardi B and things like that. It's not, Cardi B's thick, good pitches like that, has some good type fare with the music, but it's this kind of aspect that can't really think of like the big portion of something that came out October, November, some of those type pitches within it. It's just kind of the fair of like it just should not be that quiet of a spell around this time of year. October, November, December should be the biggest, most emphatic portion of the year, but just talking about what the Grammys are kind of doing, like I think we can go ahead and already kind of guesstimate some of those type of affairs within it, just as far as saying that I think Kendrick is pretty much hand over fist going to probably win every award that he's in that has to do with rap music. It's not, I don't care. I probably figured that GNX album or whatever is pretty dope, Hot Ticket, something like that. If it's not Kendrick, it's probably going to be Clips. Those are the biggest two things I saw about that were talked about in hip-hop social media, but there just hasn't... just in terms of the way that things kind of were back in the 2010s when you think of something like Hobson, or when you think of folks like some of the underground type scene like Rob Level, some of these type folks, other folks in like the mixtape type fair, Waka Flocka, some of these type folks, just pitches like that, Gucci Mane, just a bunch of folks like that, just folks that were kind of popping off in like the mixtape type scene, some of these type fairs. It's just not as much full bound kind of getting towards happening. It's a very empty spell. It's just kind of, but yeah. That's the concept. So, champion, at least an easy mode, pitches like that. I know that's kind of within fair, but I know this game, this pissed me off. This really was starting to get kind of annoying and grating on my nerves just when the pitch of just playing through this particular fair about it. It was this kind of aspect as far as saying, but I'm going to do it again at night, pitches like that. We'll save the game. We'll play through it with Jen. There's going to be a drinking game, some of these type fairs, so I would definitely say just kick back some of these type products, but then it's going to be vicious, some of these type ordeals. But it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying, I am going to try story mode. Hopefully that's not too annoying within some type of aspects, but I will not go into medium mode if these particular affairs about it are not in like a delightful type pitch about it. So it's kind of fair, but just stay tuned for some of that. Stick with this playlist. There's going to be some good type pitch about it, folks. There's good viciousness here, but yeah, blistering type playlist is going to get repetitive, but it's going to be some fun with it as well. So good pitches like that.